All right, for your shawarma spiced halloumi, you've got your grilling cheese, some basmati rice, Persian cucumber, some grape tomatoes. We have some veggie stock, shawarma spice blend, pistachios, a lemon, a clove of garlic, a shallot, some Cholula hot sauce, some sour cream, and then you're gonna need some oil, salt and pepper, and 2 tablespoons of. So I'm gonna start by doing my shallot. I'll take that top layer off. And so I'm just gonna go ahead, I will cut this top off real quick. And then I'm just gonna cut this in half. And we can actually cut the root off as well to get that papery skin off. So if you recall, a shallot is kind of like a cross between a garlic and like a red onion. It definitely has like some garlicky undertones. I'm gonna peel that. All right. And then we're just going to go in here and thinly slice it. We're gonna thinly slice the whole shallot, and then we're gonna take a couple of the slices and we're gonna mince it up. So go ahead and just thinly slice. And sometimes shallots are stupid, how they like have like 2 little shallots in one. Very much like a head of garlic, how they have cloves. So I'm gonna do that to both sides. So I have a saucepan that has a lid, and we're gonna cook our rice in this. So we're gonna start, we have 2 tablespoons of butter, but we're just gonna add a tablespoon of it. And we're gonna then add all of our minced shallot to the pan. And then just half of our minced garlic. It's only half of the garlic. We're gonna use the rest in something else. That wasn't quite half. All right. Then again, half of our shelled pistachios. And then half of our shawarma spice blend. And then a pinch of salt. And we're just gonna kind of stir this all together. And we're just gonna let all of this cook and toast for just a minute. This shallot is actually quite pungent. So I've removed some of my slices, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and like finely chop this up, these pieces that I gathered, and give it kind of a good mince. This one's actually quite pungent. I don't generally get teary-eyed from onions. I'm very used to them, but I'm honestly getting they stung my eyes a little bit. So the other pieces of shallot we're supposed to use raw in our salad. So because this one is seriously like I said, very pungent, I'm probably not going to use very much in my salad. And I'm going to make sure to chop this up pretty good. So there we go. Oh, literally burning my eyes. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever had a shallot burn my eyes. All right, so now our clove of garlic. I'm just gonna kind of chop off that end. It looks like it's pretty peeled already, to be honest. Oh, of course, there's 2 cloves. Is there paper on this one? Looks like a little bit of paper. And we're gonna go ahead and just mince up our garlic. Everybody should know how to mince garlic by now, so you don't need to watch me mince it up. All right, my rice came to a boil. I turned it to low, and so I'm gonna work on the salad now. I did things a little bit differently than your instructions say. I figured I'd get the rice going while I make this salad. And so all you're going to do is, for your tomatoes, you're just gonna cut them in half like so. I don't think you really need instructions for this. And then your shallots are also gonna go in there. But But these, like I said, they're like super pungent. So I actually think I'm gonna cut these up a little bit more instead of just being like kind of in strips, like have them be like that. I mean, this is, y'all can feel free to do whatever you want to do. You can keep them in strips. It's very strong. And so I don't want to have like it completely overpower my dish. So I am not going to add all of that. So added some shallots, and then I have my tomato. Obviously I need to continue cutting all those in half. And then for our cucumber, you're just going to, first you can trim off the ends. And then cut this in half lengthwise. Always easier to cut a flat surface. And then you're just gonna cut these into little like half moon shapes. Like so. And continue doing that until your entire cucumber is cut, and it's all gonna go into this salad. So that has been toasting for like a minute. It's getting nice and fragrant. I'm gonna go ahead and add my rice. And actually, before I add my other ingredients, it doesn't tell you to do this, but I am gonna really stir this rice around to coat each grain of rice in those toasted spices and aromatics. All right. And now we're gonna add 3/4 cup of water. And we are going to add our veggie stock concentrate, the entire contents. Another pinch of salt. Give it a good stir. And then you're gonna let this come to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, you're gonna cover it and you're gonna turn the heat to low and cook it for about 15 to 18 minutes. Completely covered. So I have my tomatoes, cucumbers, and shallots all done. So now I need to zest my lemon. And remember, you're just looking for the colored part. This lemon is pretty pale. The skin's fairly thin, so I'm just sitting in one area and moving it pretty quickly because I don't want that bitter white part. It's called the pith. And if you have a zester, make sure you scrape off the back. And then we are just gonna, halve and quarter our lemon. Like so. All right, so into my shallot, cucumber, and tomato salad, I'm gonna add some of my lemon zest. I'm gonna add a big squeeze of lemon juice. There was a seed. I looked and I didn't see any. So make sure you don't get any seeds in there. I just got another one. So I'm doing half of the lemon. Get out any seeds. Salt, lots of salt. Pepper, and actually it's added. There's another seed. Some black pepper. And then a big healthy drizzle of olive oil. Don't just use vegetable oil for this. You should use olive oil. It has like a natural fruitiness to it. And then you're just gonna give this a good stir. And this is our little salad. And you can taste it. If you think it needs more shallot, go ahead and add it. If you think it needs more lemon zest, more lemon juice. Really, it's up to you and what flavors you like. So this is why it's important to taste your food. because I just tasted the salad and the shallot was not overpowering at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest. But because I kind of already chopped up the other shallot, I'm gonna do the same thing with my remaining bits, because I thought that it needed a little bit more of a punch to it. So there you have it. So now for our cheese, we're gonna cut our cheese into 4 equal pieces. We'll start by cutting it in half. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna cut it in half this way, instead of like into sticks. Like that. So it's more like cheese steaks. So if you recall, halloumi doesn't really, it does not melt. That's why they call it bread cheese sometimes, because it like crisps up like bread. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this and put them all onto a plate. And I'm gonna season each side with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then sprinkle each one with some of the shawarma spice. And then I'll season the other side when they go into the pan. Now I'm gonna make my garlicky white sauce. So I have the rest of my garlic right there. And I'm gonna take my sour cream. I'm gonna add the entire contents of this. And then I'm gonna add some salt. I'm gonna start with a little drizzle of water, teaspoon at a time, because we do want this to be a drizzle consistency. So it should like easily kind of drip off the spoon. So adding a little bit more water. So again, that's just kind of coming off as a blob. That's a bit more drizzly. I'm gonna add just a smidge more water. For a true kind of like very, see how it just falls right off the spoon. That is more of a drizzle consistency. I guess you can't really see. That's a drizzle consistency. So I have a pan that's preheating right here, or that has been preheating. And I'm gonna put in a drizzle of olive oil. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my pieces of cheese seasoned side down. And that's what you wanna hear, a nice sizzle. And I'm gonna go ahead and season this other side. A little salt. A little pepper. And then sprinkling of the shawarma spice blend. That last one didn't get as much. It's okay. And this is just really gonna cook like a minute per side. I have flipped my cheese, and as you can see, it got nice and crispy and golden, and that's what you're looking for on both sides. And honestly, this other side is also probably done. It sure is. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this from the heat and finish up my rice. My rice is finished. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of fluff this up with a fork. And then we're gonna add that remaining tablespoon of butter. Some salt. And you guessed it, pepper. and give that a good stir. And let that butter melt, and you can taste it and adjust the seasonings. Make sure you have enough salt. Make sure your rice is done. All right, so now it is time to plate. So you have your rice, you have your fried cheese, you have your tomato salad, you have your garlicky white sauce, you have some Cholula hot sauce, your remaining pistachios, leave them whole, chop them up, whatever you want to do. And you have some lemon wedges that you can serve on the side. And as always, I look forward to your presentation. Try and get creative. Try and use good lighting. Try and make your plates not messy. Try and make your background not messy. Try something different.